morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Tuesday the 20th of April. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, it's a bearish start to the day. Looking at the hourly candlesticks, Bitcoin's going to need to move through the pivot at 55,795 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 57,335. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 57,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 57,500 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin target 60,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 59,039. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 54,091 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 53s. Second major support level sits at 52,551. Looking at MACD, we've got a bearish cross at the start of the day supporting the early pullback. On the EMA, also a bearish indicator with the 50 pulling further back from the 100 and the 200. So through the early part of the day, failure to move through the pivot at 55,795 would leave support levels in play. Across Ethereum against US dollar, also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 2166 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 2281. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from 2250 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 2282.6 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ethereum target 2400 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2398. Failure to move back through the pivot brings the first major support level at 2048 back into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid the second major support level at 1935. 23.6% fib at 1966 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, you've got a bearish cross at the start of the day supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, also bearish indicator. The 50 has pulled further back from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 closing in on the 200. Possible bearish cross there. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 2166 and back through to 2250 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, the support levels will remain in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, particularly bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Litecoin move back through the 23.6% fib at 262 and through the pivot level at 265 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 281. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from 275 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 283.69 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Litecoin test 300s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 299. Failure to move through the 23.6% fib and pivot will bring the first major support level at 246 back into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of sub 240s. Second major support level sits at 230. Looking at MACD's got a bearish cross at the start of the day supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, also bearish indicator. The 50 has pulled further back from the 100 and is closing in on the 200 with a possible bearish cross coming up, so keep an eye on that. So key through the early part of the day, move back through 23.6% fib and through the pivot at 265 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will remain in play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, particularly bearish start as well. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the 38.2% fib at 1.2807 and move through the pivot level at 1.3654 to bring the first major resistance level at 1.4774 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 1.4s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib at 1.5426 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP target 1.6 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.6446. Failure to move through the 38.2% fib and through the pivot level would bring the first major support level 1.1982 back into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day. Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 1s. Second major support level at 1.0862 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we have a widening of the bearish histograms through the turn of the day, supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMAs, also bearish indicator. The 50 has pulled further back from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 closing in on the 200. So look out for a bearish cross the 100 through the 200 there through the day. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the 38.2% fib at 1.2807 and break through the pivot at 1.3654 to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will remain in play.